Hello, my name is Wagio. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we'll talk about journey with God, but in regards to 5 lessons and a bonus of one of what I've learned in my single season. I've been single for a while now, and I have gathered some few information or few data, and have been able to learn, walk through it, and enjoyed myself. Most of the time, I've met so many people, and they tell me, you look so happy. It seems like there's someone in your life. I'm like, the only one who is in my life is God, Holy Spirit, Jesus, and my family and friends. Any other thing, I don't think so. And I realized when you get contented in that season, in this season, there's a glow that God gives you. There's a strength that God gives you. There's a wisdom that God gives you. There are things that God just builds within you, And it doesn't mean that you cannot get them when you're in a relationship or when you're married or wherever you are at. But anyway, God can use you in whichever capacity or place that you are at, anywhere. So, if this is something that you've been interested in, I encourage you that you subscribe, you watch this video to the end, share with your friends, comment, and we'll be growing and we'll be learning, we'll be teaching each other on the things that we need to know, some of the characters, the things that God is speaking over my life, over your life. It's never bad when you're sharing. We are told God encourages us to have a fellowship. Fellowship helps you to build one another. It helps you to grow. So if you're interested to be in such kind of a space, please like my YouTube channel. And so today, allow me to read through, because I thought if I don't read it through or I don't write it down, I might forget some of the lessons. Like I've mentioned, there are 5 of them and a bonus of 1. And I wanted to do like 9 of them, 10 of them, 15 of them. But anyway, I thank God for the few that He has given me, because there's a reason for that. I always say, and I always tell you, there's a reason and a purpose for each and everything. God had a purpose for your life. God has a purpose for your season and time. And I believe, He has a season. He has a reason for my season. Whether I'm dating, whether I'm married, whether I'm courting, whether I'm raising children, He has a reason for that. And to my first learning and lesson about singleness is this: singleness is a gift from God. It's not a curse. My friend, I listened to a sermon years ago by Miles Monroe, and he was sharing being single for God. When I was watching this video, I thought he was talking about you just not having maybe a partner in your life. And he was sharing being single for God, meaning you giving yourself wholly to God, you allowing Him to be Him to be the driver of your life, And he shared, you can be single when you're married, and you can be single also when you're dating, or when you're not even in a relationship of any kind. But when he was sharing this, I realized we have carried singleness as something that it's out of the world, something that people do pre marriage and whole season, or the whole thing. But anyway, as he was sharing this, it got me to understand that the season that I'm in, yes, it's defined by people like single, but let it not be defined as a curse just because you don't have this. Just because you don't have a man or a woman in your life, it stands as a curse. No, it's not a curse, because I believe before Eve was presented to Adam was single. Like, he was single. Before Sarah met Abraham, he was single. Before Abraham gets Sarah, before all these people who are married, or we read they were married, or right now they're married, there's a season that they had where they were single. So this doesn't mean it's a curse. No, it's a season that God is taking you through so that you can be able to introduce to the next season. So there's a time that you were born. When we are born, you have to go through school. There are things that are going to happen, and all these things. Then you go to the next stage, next stage, until you die. And even in Ecclesiastes 3 says, there's a season for each and everything. There's a time to be born and a time to die. There's a time to plant and there's time to harvest. The same way, there's a time for you to be single and there's a time for you to be married. So don't take it as a curse. Take it as a blessing that God has given you. Because I was sharing in my last video, during this season of singleness, I have been able to heal traumas that I had. God has been teaching me some things. I've been able to travel. I've been able to do so many things. It doesn't mean that when I get married, I'll not do these things. But anyway, during this season, He has given me that freedom. And I don't have to be, how do I say it? I don't have to look at this season as a curse. The next thing, I can walk in my purpose in my single season. My sister, my brother, even in your single season, you don't have to wait for someone else, a man or a woman, so that you'll be able to accomplish your purpose. God can still use you even in this season. Interestingly, I never thought that I'll do anything in this world. I always thought that I will be born. I knew I'll travel the world. I knew like travel the world, get a good business or a job, then get married, then die, But the timings that I had for my life, I had already input from this time to this time, I'll do this. From this time to this time, I'll do this, And when that time, I shared in my last video that I really wanted to get married at 23 years old. And at 23, I was freshly from campus. I did not know much, but I realized I went and met with friends. And some things that I never knew I can do. I see. Because we are told purpose, you don't fully achieve it at a go. You do it as a process. And this is when I discovered Wagio can encourage people. Wagio, you can share the gospel with people without fear. Wagio, you can pray for people, intercede for people, and God answers prayers. The whole thing to be unveiled, or me to learn it, or God to reveal it to me, God did not wait for me until I was married. No, He already was preparing me. He has been preparing me for that season. But even this season, I'm able to do some of the things that I believe I'm walking in purpose. Okay? So the same way, God is able to use you in the season that you're in to achieve purpose. You continue. It's a continuous. I don't know who was sharing this analogy. It's like maybe a puzzle. Purpose is like a puzzle. You unlock one puzzle, then you go to the next level. From that level, you go to then the other level. So the first one, it's like you're starting baby steps. Then you go to crawling. Then you go to adolescence, quote unquote adolescence, then maturity. God helps you in all these seasons, and it will not unlock when you get married. No, it will even unlock when you're still in your single season. So don't start saying no when my man comes or when my woman comes, that when I'll be able to do this or do that. You can still do it right now. God can help you and can direct you to do it. God can connect you with people to be where you're supposed to be. Okay? The next thing, when I'm single, I'm saying I'm alone but not lonely. Don't get it twisted. I remember there's a song that we used to sing. I used to listen to secular music a while ago. 10 years now, maybe. 11 years ago. And I remember there's a song they used to say, I am so lonely. I have nobody in my life. But in reality, you have friends in your life. In reality, you have family in your life. In reality, you have maybe cosmates. You have colleagues. There are people around you. And you don't have to be lonely. You're just alone, but not lonely. Lonely, it's a place that you wouldn't want to be at, and you don't want to be at. And you stop calling yourself lonely, and stop saying that you're lonely. No, you are just alone, not lonely. You already have God. He has so blessed you that he says he is Emmanuel, God with us. He's already with you. He's within you. So you're not lonely. You're just alone. Alone in this aspect that you don't have a man or a woman in your life. Okay, if you're a man, you don't have a woman in your life. If you're a woman, you don't have a man in your life. I don't mean the other twisted gender that people are trying to put across. No. Okay? Even before Adam, God presented Eve to Adam. Adam was just alone, not lonely. He had God. You also have God. You have friends around you. Utilize them in this season, even in the next phase of your life. The other thing, the one of the lessons I have to learn the hard way. I shared a snippet of my dating seasons, how they have been like. And I realized, after reading several, the good thing is that the Bible has so many answers to the questions that we might be having. So I'll give an example of Adam. I will just go back to Adam because I believe God introduced him in the beginning for a reason. I also go to Isaac. So my next point number 4 is this. Serial dating doesn't bring Mia, the husband or wife. Allow God to guide you on who to date or court. You don't have to be serial dating. You don't have to be so much tired that you're going from one coffee date to the other. You have 2 coffee dates booked for you, or you're booking for them for someone. In fact, you can allow God to guide you where you're supposed to be and who you're supposed to be with. We have Isaac. Isaac in the Bible in Genesis 24. The father had to send a servant to go to look for a wife for Isaac. So he did not go to search, or as people say, kissing many frogs. You never know which you might go and kiss a frog that is sick, that is just going through a lot, and you don't know how you're going to get yourself out of that place. So my encouragement, allow God to guide you in this, but for me, my encouragement will be, or what I learned, serial dating will not bring me a husband, and it has not brought me a husband. In fact, I told God, I just want you to guide me and lead me. I went for dates and I got tired. You're going for this one date, this second date, these calls, numerous calls. Now you're nursing wounds of the people that you are with, or the people that you thought they would be. Some of them even they did not make to the minimum, the bare minimum, and you're still just going out with them. You know, you don't have to have all this. You know, maybe you can just, there's a prayer I love making. God, if it's your desire for me to go for a date with this guy, allow me to do. If it's not your will, let me not. Because sometimes I will just be wasting my time. Hello, I come from a bit far from town, or I don't want to waste your time. I wouldn't want to waste your time, and you wouldn't want to waste my time. So what do? I ask God to lead me where I'm supposed to be and who I'm supposed to be with and meet. Point number 5. Not every Christian man or woman you're serving with is your husband or wife. Many are just good Christian friends. Let's talk about situationships. You find this good guy, you're just having fun with him. They are just being good and kind to you. The next thing, you're building houses, you're building up a whole life with them in your mind, whereas God brought them to you for them to be friends, for them to train you or teach you things in that season that you're in. So if you're in this place, let God deliver you. Stop seeing every guy as a potential. Stop seeing every woman as a potential. Like I said in the previous one, allow God to guide you who you're supposed to be with and who you're not supposed to be with. It can be so hard. You can be judged, you'll be mocked, you'll be talked about you all the whole thing. But just allow God to guide you where you're supposed to be and who you're supposed to be with. Please. And my bonus would be, you will have sexual desires. But in all this, allow God also to help you. I believe you can always talk to God with everything that you're going through and whatever you're facing. You can tell him the struggles that you're going through. And also, be wise on what you're watching, you're listening to, and you're talking. Who are you listening to? Are you listening to... In our time, we used to have... we used to call them who? There was Asha, there was Chris Brown, there was who? Was it Justin? Justin at that time. And there was who? There was so many musicians, they were just singing erotic songs, arousing your emotions. You know, even the Bible cautions you, do not arouse love before it's time. So stop arousing things that you know you're not. Stop arousing fire that you know you cannot be able to quench. You cannot put out. Allow God, like, be very discerning what you're watching, especially what your eyes are seeing. Are you always watching those stupid soap operas? Are you watching these erotic movies, reading erotic novels? Be discerning on what you're watching and listening to or talking. Sometimes even be wise on what you're talking with your friends. Sometimes they will just speak things that will just arouse some emotions, and when you go to sleep, you're just struggling to sleep, or you're even struggling to take a shower. You're struggling with these desires and you know they cannot be quenched. You start falling into sin of trying to fulfill it yourself or looking for someone to do it for you, which should not be the case. So be discerning what you're allowing. Those long night calls, 2 a.m., 1 a.m., 12, 4 a.m., 5 a.m. What are you talking with the guy for 5 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours? If it's not something that is leading in a godly way, where you are allowing it to happen, guard your heart. With everything that I've learned, I can also sum it with guarding your heart. It's so much essential in this season and time. You will feel you're bursting out with these emotions and feelings. You will feel like this guy, oh, he looks so handsome, this woman looks so beautiful, and we just want to be with them. But maybe they are not meant for you. God has other plans for your life or someone in your life. So allow him to help you and guard your heart. Guard it with all the strength that you have. Have the wisdom. Walk with friends that you know they're going to lead you in the right way. I think it was, I have been in a season where I walked, yes, God brought these friends I have been walking with. I know now, many now are married, are getting married. And I thank God for them. And I thank God for that, because it's a season now, knowing that it's the next phase of their life they have entered. But they allowed God to lead them where they're supposed to be at and to be with. Today I had to keep things cool and calm, but I know you have heard and you have learned. You have learned. And I pray that you have been blessed. My also desire is that when you learn, you're going to put it to practice. When you learn, you're also going, maybe you can also down below comment some ways, some lessons that you have learned in your single season. It doesn't matter if you have been single for 2 days or 3 years or 5 years. I'll just comment in the comment section so that we can learn from one another. And also, after you have watched, subscribe to this YouTube channel, share with your friends this video. Those who have been single for 2 years, 3 years, 10 years, or even 5 days, let them listen and learn. And also, I will encourage you that pray for one another. Let the love of God dwell in your heart. Continue trusting Him because He guides. He says He's the one who guides our paths. Today I was reading in Psalms 30. Is it 37? Sorry, let me get my Bible. I'll leave you with this. Psalms. Psalms 37, it says, verse 3 and 4, trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and befriend faithfulness. Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. Then verse 5, commit your way to the Lord. Trust in Him, and He will act. You know, and in delighting, the comment that I made is to be pliable, that is, to be luxurious, delicate, tender. And also, delighting yourself in the Lord also means dwelling in His presence, like trying to do, when it's not trying, dwelling in His presence, delighting yourself, being pliable, being tender-hearted, and doing things as the Lord desires of you. And also, you commit your way to the Lord. So I pray that you commit this season to the Lord and your way, even when you're going to the dating season. And you trust in the Lord, and He's going to act. He's going to help you. I know He knows the desires that you have in your heart. The desires to start a family, to have children, to be with someone, to take care of someone, or be taken care of. He knows these desires. The only requirement right now is delight yourself in the Lord. Delight yourself in the Lord. In this season, continue delighting yourself in the Lord. Let Him direct you where to be at, who to be with. Allow Him. Make a prayer like the servant did when he was looking for a wife for Isaac. That God, send your angel to guide me. And I know He is able to guide you where to be at. And if you feel you're confused about the whole thing, you can always pray to God, and He's going to guide you. I remain to be Wagio. This is my journey with God in singleness, but now, lesson that I have learned in my single season. I pray that it blesses you, and I'll meet you in the next one. Bye.